did it. Hey everybody, it's Laura Kingen. Welcome. It's taken me a little while to get settled up. There are some things that I have planned and have in mind for you all today. So once again, I apologize for being late. Whether it's an excuse or not, in native terms, we talk about spirit time. Sometimes the energies just need to come together, and like different things have been coming in of what I'd like to share with you all today. So I hope it's all worth it. I'm actually shaking a little bit. There's a lot of energy for this thing today. Looking forward to sharing some things with you. There's so much stress going on that I would like to address that. So I'm going to do a little bit of explanation and talk with you about what I'm going to do, etc. Explain a little bit about who I am. Try to spend a little time, just a little bit of time on that. But then I want, as I typically do with my sessions, I want to spend the bulk of this session doing activity, doing active things I can offer to you all that you can do on your own. You can pull this video up however many times you'd like to do to be of help to you all. So if you'd like to just kind of fast forward some of this explanation, that's cool. I totally get it. And then just get into the activity part. But I do feel like I need to do at least a little bit of talking first. So we'll do the bulk of the activity. I'll talk, we'll do the bulk of the activity, and then we'll come back down. I really am shaking. Is it nervousness or is it energy? There's a lot of energy coming in today. So then at the end, we'll calm back down. First off, some of this is just working the mechanics of this. Here's my business card. My business is Sensory Solutions, Inc. My cell phone number is area code 631-848-8852. But PMing me on Facebook is a great way to reach me as well. What I'm trying to do is offer strategies to reach wholeness. Some of you have been around for a long time, have been watching me develop. Okay, I'm going to switch this around. Cynthia, I'm talking about you. So after many years, it's interesting, Cynthia, you're giving me your blessing. Because there's a lot of people who I've been working with for many years. And this is really a culmination of my personal work and my professional work. I do want to say, certainly with my sensory therapy activity sessions, that's more specific to sensory. But what I want to offer you today is more for those of us who are adults trying to deal with our mental health and are concerned about what's going on in the world. I've been studying with Native Americans and Tibetans actually for many years. And so I've learned some things. That's probably very foreign to my New York friends, but let's go forth. So, first thing I'd like to offer and talk with you about is the Native American medicine wheel. I'm going to burn a little bit of sage. I know that this may be off-putting to a lot of you. But I think we're also in a time where we need to come together. And I think we're at a time where we're really challenging. Is the melting pot successful? In our country, we're really struggling, and there's a lot of stress. A lot of stress that a lot of people feel is being made worse. And I'm going to do my best to stay out of the political part and try to be neutral here, because to me, my understanding is the Native medicine wheel is about the circle, and it's about coming together. We need to somehow come together as a people, because there's people dying, and there's people struggling. There's people who are angry about having to support those people who feel like they're living off the system. There's a lot of crazy things. The word is being manipulated, what's real, what's not. And it's like I even have to be very careful about being grounded in my own self without going crazy, getting caught up in the misinformation and what's real, what's true. I think as we go forth from here, we need to figure out what is true. What is truth? And that truth is in our hearts. And so I want to offer some things to you, several different things. I guess it is native in origin, but hopefully enough where you all can be open to even just checking out something different. Like I've alluded to before, I've worked in mainstream mental health. I worked at St. Luke's Behavioral Health Center back in, how many years ago? 30 years ago? 35 years ago. And I've watched where mental health has gone, mental health care has gone, and more it's gone towards here, take this pill. I'm sharing some of my opinions, but I mean, honestly, that's what it's kind of like. Here, take this pill. The natural world offers so much, and I'd like to share some things with you about that. Thusly, the Native American medicine wheel. We are really, a lot of people are concerned about the climate. So without me getting into the political issues about the climate, let's talk about the natural world. Fire. Smoke. A lot of you may have heard about smudging. I'd like to show you a little bit about that. Just take a couple moments. Smoke. Water. Hold on. The thing I'm learning about all this is logistics. Now, oops. Let's try this again. Fire. Let's keep the fire going. I'm going to light a candle. Part of the reason why I'm shaking is I'm going somewhere where we really haven't trepidations about going. I want to bring in spirituality into healthcare. This is the bottom line. I hear a lot about mind, body, but what about mind, body, spirit? How many people have been heart sick by someone dying or sick to their stomach about something they've heard? These to me are spiritual issues, but our healthcare, we separate it out. It's dissociated. We go to church, we go to healthcare, we go to get our health. But this is integrating. And I'm taking a risk, especially in this time when people, I want to start to cry, especially when people are like slighting somebody else just cause. And reputations are being ruined. So I'm taking a huge risk here. I'm also Catholic. Spirituality is very important. Whoops. Oh. So is safety. So we have fire, and we have air, and we have water, and we have our earth. We are made of these elements, as I have been taught and as I have worked with. Our climate is suffering. We are okay with polluting water? No. Thusly, our thoughts are becoming polluted. Our bodies are becoming polluted, becoming toxic. I can go on, and I'm going to stop. I'm going to try to. But what I'd like to do in dealing with stress is try to get back to purity and find out what's real, what's true. How can I get rid of some of that confusion? Those things that are stressing me. When we're stressed, our nervous system works on a sympathetic level where we tend to breathe heightened, we're sweating, short breath, and you can just see it in people, you know, and that's what I can feel it in my own self. And then my emotions come up and it's, how do we calm down? And that's what I'd like to help offer to you all today. So when we calm down, we can be more centered and we can come from a calmer place to make important decisions. And sometimes decisions are just like, no decision right now. So I wanted to point out as we go forth into the rest of this 2020 and then into 2021, we really are coming into a new era, a new time. There's some things that are old and no longer working. I have been of benefit by here, take this pill. I mean, a urinary tract infection, I tried alternative ways of trying to heal that urinary tract infection. Unfortunately, I've had very few in my life. But finally one day it was just like, I got the pill and it took care of it. So there are benefits. I mean, I'm not going to throw all of it away. I mean, this whole vaccine thing. It could be benefits, but it can also be exploited. And I think that's where there's a lot of concern. We've gotten far away from the earth, from climate, from honoring our water. So many of our health issues, I am sure, have to do with bad water. You know, we have a lot of pharmaceuticals in our water that's showing up. I grew up on the east end of Long Island in potato fields where there were pesticides used. The cancer rates on Long Island are really high. Is correlation maybe? Honor our water in our bodies, in our world. Honor the fire, the purity, that destructive force. It's also passion. And that passion can bring life. If you're married, a partner, you have a sense of what that passion can feel like. Creative forces, passion, it's fire. It's that fire within us. The air that we breathe. Those people who have had COVID, by the grace of God, have stayed home and stayed COVID-free, but many of you I know have had COVID and are still suffering from that. And can understand as we move into a new era, it's a more air-oriented era. It's like this pandemic is ushering in this time when we need to honor our air so that we can breathe and survive. Many of the climate change, people who are supporting the climate change issues, how I want to say, are recognizing these impacts on our health. The rates of asthma with children who live near highways, it's documented. It's concrete, tangible evidence. Asthma rates are higher around highways. It's part of the struggle these days is change. There are things that need to change, and I think this virus situation is forcing us to have to acknowledge we are all connected. We are all part of the same circle. We all breathe the same air. So what your decisions are impact my decisions, and my decisions impact you. So much obstruction has been happening. When people speak up, whistleblowers, they get vilified. So again, I'm taking a risk. But to me, it's worth the risk because I'm connected to the circle. And my health is related to your health. And I'm really sad about what's been going on in the world. And I'm really angry about it too. And one of the things I've learned about myself is I have a lot of anger. And it stresses me out and it affects my health. So I want to do an activity to help move this energy. My business is offering strategies to reach wholeness. I do a lot better when I work with other people. I'm nowhere near perfect. I've spent my entire life trying to figure things out to help me with my stress. So maybe these ideas can help you. I encourage you to write down in the chat box, what are some of your stressors? I've said one of my stressors is I'm angry about the world situation. So I encourage you all, let's play with this. Let's think about our stressors and let's move. Now, I'm going to do another movement activity because I think movement is so important. I'm really not an exhibitionist by any means, but it's worth it to me if this can be a benefit to you all. Part of the medicine wheel teachings as I've been taught, and this has been taught by Rosalind L. Briere from the Healing Light Center Church out of Los Angeles, California. There's other sources too. I've spent a lot of time working with Native Americans, but studied with her a lot, and so I reference her. My understanding of the Native American medicine wheel teaching about the circle is that there are 4 components, that they all function equally, that we want to give attention to our mind, to our emotions, to our physicality, and to our spirit. Thusly, that mind, body, spirit. And I've probably pushed a lot of people away by acknowledging this. But I know that there's a lot of people out there that do get this and that can benefit from this. So, emphasizing the point, do I err in being silent for fear of being vilified like the whistleblowers? Or do I follow my heart and stay grounded, praying and asking for guidance? As I've been guided basically my whole adult life, that's brought me to this time, to this video, to share with you all. Okay? Let's do some things. For safety's sake, I'm going to move this. But I want you all to know the fire is still going. I'm going to do some adjustments here. In the meantime, I do want to thank my husband, Kevin Kingan, for accompanying me. He served 22 years in the military, put in his time. And yet, financially, we're still struggling. Is that fair? Is it about fairness? It's about coming together. We're all in it together. Those of you that make a lot of money and have a nice home and heat and food, you are really fortunate. I've been there. I've also been on the other side. And that gets me angry. That there's imbalances. And that some people, I don't like this, that some people are just more fortunate. And many people deserve it. But I know a lot of good people that are in poverty. Do they deserve that? So, these are things, I'm building this because I'm angry about it. I need to do something with this. If you choose to do this, be safe. I offer this to you freely, but we all need to take responsibility. There's a lot of blaming going on, and that gets me angry and upset. So that's a stressor for me when we blame others, so I'm gonna give it to the earth. Use sound. Use your body. Jump. Get angry, but give it to the earth. Let it go. See, I've had a lot of anger. So I need to do this again and again. I actually feel better. But when I start thinking about the blame, the stuff that's going on, giving it to the earth. And I let it go. Take that energy. Let it go. Be careful about your body. Be safe. I mean, do you hear that? I'm using some force. But be careful, our bodies. It's like we're running the energy through our bodies, as opposed to that hard foot hitting that hard surface and hurting yourself. There should be flow, like the water. What are some other stressors that you all have? Financial? I just alluded, we're struggling financially. And actually right now I'm feeling sad about that. Give it to the earth. Give it to the earth. There is support under us. The fact that we've kind of gone out of our bodies, that gets me upset. It's like, come on, people, get in our bodies. We give this to the earth. I alluded to how I'm Catholic. One of the things about being Catholic is confession. It's about offering something to somebody else. Some kind of soul searching, some kind of whatever it is within us that we feel is doing a disservice to us, we offer it to the priest. We offer it to somebody else outside of ourselves. Please help us. Help me. I've done this work on myself. I know I have a problem with this. I acknowledge this, and I offer it to you. And if you do it in a good way, that priest blesses, and our energy changes. We are changed by those efforts. It's the same kind of a thing. What we're trying to do, what we are doing, is we are taking this energy and offering it to something else. As Indigenous peoples have taught over the years and have worked with over the years, this is a dynamic process that has been used for people throughout time. So take something and offer it up. What are some other things? Relationships. It's hard to get out and be social these days. Now, fortunately, I am married. I spent many, many years alone. But I am now married. Many people are out there alone. It can be very sad, but you can be angry about that. How much do you want to go out and play outside? Give it to the earth. My husband's a drummer. He's a musician. He's unable to go out and play those venues. Because if he does, he could get sick, he could get other people sick, and people can die. So we have to stay home. And I'm really angry about it. Give it to the earth. I'm going to fix myself here. Because instead what we do is we hold on to it, and then give it to the earth. Let it go. How do we handle emotion? This can be really scary, I know. Give it to the earth. Pray. Offer it up. But be in your body. How do we hold these uncomfortable feelings? Our children are missing out on what, for generations, we've been able to experience. It's a new time. It's a new era. Kids are missing out. Give it to the earth. Give it to this higher energy. There are forces beyond what we can understand. And I think that little part of us wants to hold on like, I know how to do it. I can do it all. Or I guess what I'm alluding to is that part of us that wants to detach from something else, from something like our egos are so full that we've got it made and we know who we are. It's BS. We're brought into this world and we leave this world beyond our control. There are many forces beyond our control. Sickness, the virus. Give it to the earth. Dear God, please help us. Offer it up. Because otherwise, I know I've held on to a lot of my own pain. This is a process that I've been using for years. Fortunately, I've been losing weight finally. Giving it to the earth. One of the stressors is, for me, is about the lack of coming together as a community and honoring the death that's already happened and the struggle that families are having. Dear Lord! That's why we pray. So I've got to fix myself again. So, like water, flowing. Our emotions are like water. And those of you that have worked with chakras, it's our second chakra. It's our emotions. So much of what we're eating today, our food has become adulterated. Okay, now I'm getting into a whole nother arena. I'm going to give it to the earth. Because it's more than I can handle. It's more than I can understand. It's beyond my mental understanding, which is air. It's that third chakra. So I can feel like I want to kind of settle. And if you all can feel that. I like doing this in a group with other people. It's very supportive. But we really need to adapt these days. So again, using this video, being able to replay it, if that will help you. I know it's pretty dramatic, but dealing with emotions is good. So with that flow, I mean, I can bring up this emotion and let it go. There's a fluidity like water, the purity of water. Emotions flow. And if they don't, they're stagnant and they sit there and they keep working on us. Because we have emotion throughout our day. I could look at my husband right now at the drum kit and have a wave of emotion come up. But it flows. And he's responding. That's flow and it's water. But a lot lot of disease is stagnancy and that immobility of moving. The more that we can work with the natural world, instead of impugning the indigenous peoples and the native peoples as barbaric, a lot of what we're doing, I'm sorry, I'm white, us white men, it's barbaric too. And it's hurting us. I'm really upset about that, or have been upset about that. So I'm working through letting it go, so that I can find some peace. So let's go and do that. So, I always like to wind down our sessions, because one of my concerns would be, bringing up this emotion and leaving you all hanging, it stirs things up, but the idea is to bring it up and out. And the fire can help burn away those impurities. And our breathing can help bring in like renewed sustenance, fresh energy into our bodies as we can sit on Mother Earth and feel that support. So in my sessions, I always like to wind back down, as I've alluded to before. Adjustments. And I'd like to show you all some different types of calming strategies. Certainly breath is paramount. It's using that air. I'm trying to see if I can do this. I'm sitting on the ball. I don't know if I can do this. There's my foot. I'm not able to do this. There we go. So, because we've been working with our feet, stomping, let's do some nice, loving things for our feet. Now, I'm just going to kind of work it a little bit. Some of you guys may have heard about reflexology. And I really haven't addressed too much the word energy yet. But so much of what I do is working with energy. And like I go to an acupuncturist, haven't been in a long time, but it's an alternative form of health care that's kind of been outside our mainstreamed American healthcare system, but has been, like acupuncture, it's been in existence for thousands of years. Maybe there's something to that. And I have had a chance to explore that in my life. And that's part of what I'm talking about with this. With this reflexology, it's not just the foot. There are points on our feet and on our hands that correspond to the meridian lines, the energy of our body. So that, for example, say you've got a neck problem, you might want to work your feet up here. Say somebody's in the hospital, you can't really touch their necks, or get to their necks very well. Excuse me, but you can address that through the feet. We are all connected, including our body. This is such a weird angle. So, I encourage you guys to, as I'm doing this, sorry, I should have said this as I first started, work your feet right now. See how that feels. Do you have any sore spots? There's this bubbling springs point. It's really important to help work that. If you've ever heard about, again, I'm alluding to the chakra system, that our energy system, the energy part of our feet, it opens up. That's where we can go, like, to be careful.
working the energy going through our feet into the ground. It's like that in here especially is so important to help us connect with the earth. Anybody who's done martial arts, I mean, I just know a little bit. But those of you that know martial arts know what I'm talking about. Again, it's kind of been outside our mainstreamed American approach. But a lot of people, a lot of different cultures recognize the importance of this. And so I just wanted to take the time. See, I'm working one side and then the other side. These are all related to the organs. And I apologize, I meant to have a chart so I could pull up. I forgot to pull that up today. You know, working your spine. So it kind of like it works head, down your body, to like your feet, your legs. And then the spine. See, I should have studied those first. I'm not licensed as a massage therapist, so I would refer you to massage therapists. They would really know this. Make sure you do the other first too. So go ahead and work your feet. And I apologize, I should have switched this earlier. But just really, you know, if you're feeling extra confused or just really stressed, take a couple deep breaths, work your feet. Do the exercise we just did. It kind of helps to get us either out of our mind and not that we want to be detached from our minds, but we want to be connected, mind, body, spirit. You know, the fluid part, the mental part, the physical part, and the spiritual part. And so what I'm trying to do in today's section is show you and work with physical elements and emotional elements. And I got emotional. And I imagine I may have turned some people off. That's like part of the reason why we have some issues today. Not that you have to watch me, but when we disregard our emotions, they're still going to be there. You need to let the emotions flow in a dynamic way, like water. So physical, mental, emotional, spiritual. So just go ahead and get in a comfortable position. Make sure your feet are just flat on the ground. And let's take 3 slow, deep breaths in and out. And then just take a couple of moments to just feel what that feels like. Feel if your body has changed, if your whole being has changed. Because really, we are energy beings. And the energy is water, earth, air, fire. The Tibetans talk about ether. What's that? Get comfortable. Taking a deep breath. Slowly let it go. Try to keep your mouth closed. Hard for me as I'm talking. Deep breath in. Slowly let it go. Take one more deep breath in. And slowly let it go. And just tune in. Just slowly breathing in and out. Feel your body. And because I did mention spirit, I'd like to offer a prayer. And who am I? I'm not a priest. I'm someone who cares for us all. Our thoughts can either be helpful or hurtful. So let's offer it up. Catholic, I've worked with Native Americans, I've worked with Tibetans, especially. The Hindi approach has also been very significant. There are different religions and different approaches to God, to spirit, to energy, to something outside of us. So in that vein, that's where I'm coming from. Yes, I believe in Jesus. I believe in angels, and that there are spirits out there. Invisible forces. What about our descendants? Or descendants? And ascendants? Didn't sound right. Seems like each time I say one word wrong. Those who have come before us and those who have coming after us. Let's pray for us all. Transcending time, going into the past and going into the future. Pray for love. So. I'm going to pray in the Native American way after all that. Oh, great Creator, I call to you. I call to the heart of all things. I call to the spirits of the east, spirits of the south, spirits of the west, spirits of the north. I call to Father Sky, and I call to Mother Earth. And I pray for all. As I sit in the children's fire and look out amongst the circle of all things, I call to all that I am and all that I shall be. And I ask that I can be of service unto the people. There's so much confusion in the world right now. So much questioning. We hear Jesus talk about the word, and it can be so powerful. And yet the word can be so misused and so damaging. We seek peace. We look to ourselves and to the beyond for help so that we can find wholeness between two opposing forces. There has been so much fighting and strife amongst being on one side or another side. And it's hurt the whole. We are coming into a time in our history in America, the United States, where a whole cycle has occurred where we need to review our karmic forces. We need to review the damage that we've done. Rather than we need to, we are being insisted upon looking at our history of slavery, of encampments, genocide, of horrible things, coupled with goodness, care for one another. For that intent for the melting pot of different peoples to come together. And we are struggling in that growth. And in the silence of looking to that which is beyond us, we seek refuge and guidance in the silence. So that we can say yes to that which calls us. Are we the dreamer or the dream? Are we doing that which we are feeling led to from within our own selves, or because something out there is asking it of us? We need help in finding those things to help bring wholeness to the circle of the opposing forces. One side versus the other side. My side is right, your side is wrong. No. Help us to gather the energies that we need to find wholeness within the circle, that we can embrace our goodness and our darkness, and that we can honor in others their goodness and their darkness. So that somehow in our own selves we can find wholeness, so that we can help take care of the children and the children's children for 7 generations, till the sun no longer sets and the moon no longer rises and the rivers cease to flow. Oh, it's a lot of emotion. We are on the cusp of new time. I hope this has been helpful. I risk this because it's worth it. I've got a lot of my own stuff, but I also have a lot I can bring to the table. Know you all are in my heart. And I wish you the best for the rest of this year. And as we go forth in 2021, may the stress fall away and the grace of God fill us with spirit, so that we can feel the kindness and love that really is well within the realm of life.